Shalom. Kol halalim la Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash, Barakti Yahweh, Barakti Yahweh Shai, Barakti Yahweh, Barakti Yahweh Shai, Barakti Yahweh, Barakti Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Okay. All praises, honor, glory, blessings, and power be unto Abanawa Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, elder bishops of Great Millstone. Double honors to the elders, elder apostles, and elder bishops of Great Millstone. Double honors to them, and shalom to the prophets of that body, and shalom to the 144,000 and 1/3. May peace and blessings and the spirit of endurance be upon you and your households as we approach the end. Lord willing, soon as possible. All right. We want to get the F out of here. All right. And if you don't want to get up out of here, there's something wrong with you. Okay. Maybe you should watch other individuals that you think that teach the truth, but the men of the Lord and the mouthpiece of Yahweh Shai are men of Great Millstone. Okay. I'm a student of the Great Millstone. They are the men of the Lord. And a lot of Israelites and Israelite foreigners have woken up around the world with the blessings and power of Yahweh Shai, because those jakes have been predestinated. All right. But I want to get into, and Yahweh is the Most High's name, and Yahweh Shai is his son's name. Okay. And Yahweh means he exists, and Yahweh Shai means our lawyer, our redeemer, our deliverer, Yahweh Shai. Ba Hashem means in the name. Yahweh Ba Hashem, in the name of Yahweh Shai. Okay? Because we can't speak, we can't, all our righteousness is as filthy rags. You can't speak directly to the Most High. Okay? Hence the reason the Lord intercedes on behalf of the elect. Hence the reason why the Lord had to, in the spirit and power of the Most High, had to be sacrificed or be the sacrificial lamb to bring back the elect. Okay? And we're in beautiful times. Okay? So you shouldn't be feeling down, because we got a lot of good things coming to us, man. All right? We're right at the end of this thing. This is not 2,000 years ago. This is not 1950. That is not 1950, 60, 70, 80, 90. Motherfuck all that. Pardon my French. All right? Let's go forward, onwards and upwards. All right? I want to go home. Now I know why the hell I've been feeling homesick all the time since I was a child. All right? That homesickness feeling, that emotion, just, sometimes crying, sometimes, what the hell, and then you realize, shit, man, I'm homesick. I want to go home. I haven't seen the Lord, for many, many, many years. And you know the Lord, man. You know that at some point in your previous incarnations, you've met Yahweh Shai physically when he walked the earth. And Brakti Yahweh Bashem Shai Bashem Rakakwadash. And I'm not blowing my own trumpet. I'm not bigging myself up. I'm bigging the Lord up, man. That Lord is merciful. And I'm not gonna I'm not propping myself up as anything special. All right. I'm just saying. And then Brakti Yahweh Bashem Shai Bashem Rakakwadash. On my 40th year, I don't celebrate birthdays, of course. Motherfuck that too. We don't celebrate heathenistic holidays. But the year I turned 40, right? The 40th year, 4 means mercy, right? We look at the number aspect. We don't celebrate birthdays. We don't light candles. We don't do none of that birthday wish nonsense. We don't celebrate Halloween, Christmas, none of that bullshit. All right. But that year, I made a video about this before. I made about 2 or 3 videos. I believe the Lord gave me a vision of himself. Okay. And it was amazing. I woke up screaming with happiness. Okay. And the Lord is a so-called black man, white afro, white beard. I couldn't see his face clearly, but I could see glowing white eyes. He was holding his hand out, saying, "Are you ready for the kingdom?" That's these words to me. And I was flying towards him. And then I woke up. He's holding his hand out. Okay. And I was like kind of like happy, and I was like, oh man, Lord, can you just let me grab your hand, please, Lord, Babu Shah, you know? I don't want to come back in, or you know, man. I know I'm deviant, I'm just all over the place, but Salakia, man, I just had to share that, because we've got a lot of things to look forward to, man. Okay, but I want to talk about these devils, these deceivers, these agents, these AI. Now, my theory, okay, which I believe is true. Esau Edom has got AI technology that's very realistic, and they've got AI technology that's mediocre, and they've got AI technology that's complete bullshit. Where the eyes look wonky and you can blatantly tell it's AI, right? Because they're approximately generations ahead in terms of the technology they have now. What they show you right now is basically probably technology from the 70s or the 60s or whatever. They're quite ahead. I believe they're 20 to 50 years ahead in terms of technology, if not more, or 100 years ahead, something along those lines. Okay. So they'll flood the internet with videos of AI that looks like AI. Then they'll flood the internet with videos that is very realistic, and it's all demonization of the Israelites, because these devils know that the Israelites, northern and southern kingdom of Israel, the northern kingdom being the so-called Hispanics, Latinos, and Native Indians, and the southern kingdom being the so-called Negroes. Okay. All right. And within the northern and southern kingdom, you've got Israelite foreigners like myself that don't come under the banner of so-called black, Latino, or Native Indian, because the Israelites are scattered to the four corners of the earth, pursuant to Deuteronomy 28, verse 64. All right. Through slavery, through marriage, through Jake going to war, through various captivities, and leaving his seed there. All right. And over generations, you don't look like your father. All right. And we've always had, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Ashah, I believe that, we've always had straight hair, woolly hair. Obviously, the superior hair is obviously woolly hair, of course, right? Our power in heaven, the Most High Yahweh, from the book of Daniel 7, the book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 9, the Lord has hair like wool, and so does his son. The son looks like the father, right? And his majesty Yahweh Shai, in the book of Revelations, verse 1 onwards, if you read it, when the beloved prophet John saw a vision of his majesty, okay, and his description is given in the scriptures, all right? The record, okay, is left of his son, and the Lord left a record of himself, okay, via the holy men that were moved by the Holy Spirit, okay, and they were Israelites, no heathens, no crackers, no gooks, no East Indians, none of them. Okay, so let me say in the biblical format: no Edomites, no Elamites, okay, no Goyim. Was it Gawarium in the Lashwan Kodash? Gawarium, I believe, because I do my curse prayer in the morning as well, man. From what I've memorized, Lord willing, I'm saying it correctly. Okay, no heathens, all Israelites. All right. Now you've got these devils, these deceivers, these agents. And I keep watching these videos of Jake having a go at Latinos, saying, oh, there's another Jake calling himself Vato, V-A-T-O, because that's a slang word amongst the Northern Kingdom Mexicans, the tribe of Issachar. Hey, Vato, Vato this, hey, essay, you know what I mean? All that kind of thing. And like, he's like saying in a derogatory term. And I keep saying to myself, why are these Jakes, these so-called black men, hating on Hispanics like that? The so-called white man is the real enemy, Esau Edom, and they've been doing you dirty, doing us dirty for hundreds of years. And not just this captivity, it was the Greek captivity, the Roman captivity. They were there too, and they've done us wrong, and they still do. And Jakes are being deleted left, right, and center. Trayvon Martin was deleted, and there's so many other Jakes, that are being deleted. Sandra Bland, by these honkies, these Edomites. All right, where were you Black Panthers then? Where were you Jakes making comments about the so-called white man then? Right? So I know through the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yashar, a lot of these people are agents. Some of them are AI, really advanced technology, which looks realistic as hell. Realistic. Okay? And they've got that kind of technology. And a lot of people are being swayed, and there's a lot of these comments made on these pages are bots or agents doing them, as well. And then a lot of people, like the term says, YouTube influencers, right? They're trying to influence your thoughts. It's a form of marketing, which is witchcraft, so trying to distort your thought process. Okay, all right, trying to trying to distort your thought process, and then a lot of people join the bandwagon. All right, to try and come against who? Each other, because the 12 tribes, we're the biggest nation on planet Earth. Okay, but I'm paraphrasing the scripture. There's no enchantment against Jacob. All right, the elect are not going to be swayed by this bullshit. Okay, all right, we're already divided as it is. Now you want to divide us even further, and then there's foundational Black American bullshit. Okay, yes, Judah is the head tribe, of course. But you can deny Benjamin now? Oh, but they didn't help to make rap or whatever. Latinos didn't do this, that, and the third. Man, I've been watching videos before I knew it was a Jake, watching videos of movies showing the projects, New York, videos of Toronto, the projects there. All blacks and Hispanics are together side by side, and some look like each other. And here you ninjas are doing this complete bullshit of trying to divide up the tribes, trying to break that stick that's mentioned in the book of Ezekiel. But you can't do that. You can't do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. Okay? You're not going to do nothing. And the people that are going to get swayed by this foundational Black American bullshit are you 2/3, pursuant to the book of Zechariah 13 and 8. Because this is just a jinn, a trap, and a snare for you ninjas that are going to get caught up in this. Okay? You're not going to make videos about, Moab, the so-called Chinese man selling you rat, cat, and dog, disguising it with whole tons of flavor and sauce, because Jake likes flavor. Jake likes that chili flavor. Jake likes that salt and pepper, right? And disguising it as chicken because you're high and drunk as fuck and on that lean. And then you think, what the hell's going on, right? Eating that bullshit. You're not going to go against the Arabs that are running trains on so-called your foundational Black American woman and the back of the store for some diapers and shit. You're not going to make videos about that. You're not going to make videos about white men deleting so-called black men and women, right? Deleting children and getting away with it. You're not going to make videos on that. You're not going to talk about the hatred towards the real enemy, but you're going to talk about people, that are in the same situation as you, because like certain tribes might look better than the other tribes, or you're a so-called black man asked out a Latina or a Native Indian woman, and she said no, and now you hate. Oh, I don't like spics, or whatever, right? Or vice versa. You Latinos think that you're white, but you got your ninja card now, right? It don't matter how light skinned you are, how high yellow you are, how straight your hair is, if you got hazel or gray eyes or blue eyes or whatever. If you're a Jake, you're a Jake. All right? You can't be light skinned enough for these devils. Okay? They see your surname as Ramos or Sanchez or Baloney or Laloni, whatever, man. Some kind of Latino type surname, right? They're gonna come for you. You understand? Because this is spiritual as well. Because sometimes you could look like a honky, straight up honky, with that pig skin flesh too, right? And these crackers are gonna have this demonic spirit on them, and it's gonna come for you. They're not gonna know why, but they're just gonna come for you. They say, "Oh, but he looks like a white guy," but that hatred and anger is gonna be there because Esau has that natural hatred towards Jacob. Okay, but you Jakes that have sold out, you're gonna find out the hard way when all hell breaks loose. When you don't have that covering of Yahweh B'Shem Yashai. The elect are covered by the spirit and power of Yahweh B'Shem Yashai, but the rest of you are not covered. All right? So you're not going to break this stick, man. All right? A lot of you, okay? And a lot of this is AI. This is demonic technology. It's witchcraft. And a lot of it is our agents that have jumped on the bandwagon. And a lot of it is bots and all that as well. But a lot of people don't understand how this world works. They don't understand the intricate parts of this demonic world. They just think that, okay, the president is a so-called good man. The government is good. They only want your good. America's going to go on forever. America are the good guys. The rest of the world is evil. Okay? There's some good so-called white people. There's some good so-called Chinese people, whatever. And any people that you think that are so-called good, whether they're white, Chinese, East Indian, or whatever, they're more than likely Jakes anyway. Okay? All right? They're more than likely Jakes anyway, if that's the case. There is no real Edomite, no such good thing. An Edomite that's good, no such thing. An Elamite that's good, no such thing. Okay, an African, a Hamite, a real African that's good, no such thing. And you Jakes that want to be Africans, you make me sick, man. Okay? All right? Do you look like a damn Hamite? Okay? Do you see any talent coming out of the land of Ham? Any amazing basketball players? Any innovation in droves? Yeah, in West Africa, yeah, because that's where bulk of Jake is. Nigeria, Niger area, Nigeria. The Fort Judah, Fort Benjamin, Fort Levi. Okay? And Jake is scattered to the four corners of the earth, of course. All right, wherever you see that salt and flavor, they're more than likely Jake. All right? Okay? All this foundational black American bullshit. First, you're called, what was it? Colored. Then you were called, I believe, colored. Or you were called nigger always. All right? Acts 13, verse 1. Okay? Even the prophets, Barnabas and Simeon were called nigger. Okay? Which is not really a racist term, but Esau has deemed it racist. Okay? Like the word gay means happy, but they flipped it around and, alluded it to, a bundle of sticks. The people that need to be burnt up. Leviticus 20:13 need to be deleted. But nevertheless, okay. So you were called colored, then black, then Afro-American, then African-American, okay, Negro, all right, and now then I'm a black man. Black means void of light. Black means dark, dingy, evil. Okay, and I don't, even what's it? This boxer's name, man, I forgot her name. The one who's dating Papoose. Does she look black? Okay, and you got Northern Kingdom woman here. What's her name again? Oh, I forgot her name, man. Whatever her name is. Oh shit. What's her name again, man? Oh, Cardi B. Right, look. Cardi B is Dominican. As a black American born and raised in New York, a lot of these Dominicans don't rock with us like that. However, they dress, talk, and try to cosplay like us black Americans. All right. Yeah, but the projects are full of black and Hispanics. They marry each other, date each other. They look similar. What the hell are you talking about? Right? She's Trinidadian. Black is a race. All this bullshit. Look, this person that owns this channel, she doesn't qualify as black. Look, the bitch is not black. I love the real black women, not the copy wannabe. Cardi B don't like herself. Look at this. Okay, the surgery. Speak on it, brother. A lot of this shit could be agents or people just jumping on the bandwagon, dividing themselves. Okay? Why do you hate on Eddie Murphy as well? He's not foundational black American. He's a Jamaican. You're going to hate on Eddie Murphy now? R. Kelly, man. R. Kelly's an Irishman. He's got Kelly, right? Is he foundational black American? All this bullshit, man. All right? But nevertheless, let's get to some scriptures. So ultimately, let me just go to my notes, man. Hating on Mexicans, hating on Puerto Ricans, hating on Dominicans. Now you're hating on Jamaicans too and Haitians. Okay, you're saying, okay, yeah, they don't. What does it say? Let me just read this part here again. A lot of these Dominicans don't rock with us like that. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. When the movie Do the Right Thing came out, I remember watching Spike Lee's interview. Spike Lee said, somebody asked him, how come you got Puerto Ricans? Something along the lines of, why are Puerto Ricans in the movie like that? He said something along the lines of that, blacks and Puerto Ricans are close. In New York, blacks and Puerto Ricans are close. That's what Spike Lee said. And that was in the fucking 80s. Right? And that's the case. Right? Blacks and Puerto Ricans are close. Northern and Southern Kingdom are close. That's why so-called Puerto Ricans, Ephraimites, act just like Judah. Why? Because they're both the head tribes. You understand? And you're saying, okay, they might not rock with each other like that. Why? Because there's a cultural difference, there's a food difference, there's a slang difference. If you don't, and sometimes people that are from, listen, I'll give you an example. I grew up in an Israelite foreigner and a Jamaican neighborhood back in the 80s. And then a lot of the Jamaicans or the West Indians moved to South London. Why? Because the bulk of Benjamin was there. You want to go to a place where you can speak patois. You want to go to a place where you got the jerk chicken. Not that of course, we had that in my neighborhood, but they want to go to an environment where they feel more close and they can talk about, say, the West Indies or the island, St. Lucia, or they can have that conversation amongst each other. You can speak your slang, your patois, because some patois you can't even understand, man. What the hell they're saying? They talk like Shabba Ranks, okay? Like Latinos, like Puerto Ricans would move where Puerto Ricans are because there's an understanding, there's a cultural understanding. That's what it is. All right. when you know, man, you got so-called black people that look like Puerto Ricans. You got Puerto Ricans that look like so-called black people. You got Benjaminites, Jamaicans. Listen, man, when I first saw Eddie Murphy, I thought he was a Judite, but he's a Jamaican or a Benjaminite. Okay, you got Native Americans that look Latino. We're all the same people, just different tribes. You know, we're just different tribes, but the same blood, the same people, kith and kin. We're the same people, man. And what Esau Edom is trying to do is break that stick. They're trying to come against the prophecies. They don't want you coming together, because when this race war kicks off, which it will, Jacob's trouble, Jeremiah 30 verse 7, it's already kicked off, but it's going to amplify. They're worried that they're going to lose the race war, which they are, because Hosea 1 and 10, we're like the sands of the sea. These devils are outnumbered. And even if they outnumbered us, we still F them up, because why? We have that skill, that war tactics. We naturally have it in us to be great and tough and strong and look better than them. Okay? The Lord is going to orchestrate it that way. The same way David took down Goliath. The same way David said that I come in the name of the Lord. Okay? Right? The elect are coming in the name of the Lord, man. We're going to take down Goliath, which is Esau Edom, and their weaponry, in the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashem Yashai. Spiritually first. And when that power comes, whoever's allotted to get it, the Jakes are going to get busy. All right? Let's go to some scriptures now, right? Actually, before I do that, let me just go to the definition of foundational Black American. Okay. AI overview. Foundational Black American refers to Black Americans with direct lineage from U.S. slavery. All right. Now, like Paul Mooney said, okay, what does Paul Mooney say in his stand-ups? If you watch Paul Mooney, right? I think he's dead and gone now, but nevertheless, he says that, Puerto Ricans are ninjas, okay? Dominicans are ninjas. He said basically you were just dropped off first at different islands. Okay, so those slave ships that came from West Africa and Europe, okay, because Jake was in Europe, Portugal, and all that. They, those same people were just dropped off in different islands, adopted different cultures, different languages, divide and conquer, right? Okay, so you could have kith and kin on the island of Haiti, all right? You could be a Haitian living in a Judite neighborhood. Man, you Jakes are silly. Okay, everybody's connected to slavery. Native Indians too, Hispanics too. They just talk about the so-called black man more because they're the head tribe, and they don't touch on the other tribes. Why? So there's a differentiation, and you assume that only slavery, chattel slavery, only happened to so-called black people or black Americans, when it happened to all 12 tribes. Yes, the black man got it the worst. Why? Pursuant to Hebrews 7:14. Is it 7:14? Our Lord sprang from the tribe of Judah. And the Lord is from the head tribe, and these crackers are trying to take out the head tribe. They think that, okay, if the head tribe is taken out, they can. The rest of the tribes will follow. Okay. Let me just go to Hebrews 7:14. One second. Hebrews 7:14 KJV. Is it 7:14? I just want to make sure I quoted it correctly. I don't want to just. Lord willing, I did, man. Is it 7:14? Maybe let me just be careful. Yes, for it is evident that our Lord Yahweh Shai sprang out of Judah, of which tribe Moses spake nothing concerning priesthood. Okay? Hebrews 7:14. All right? All the tribes went through slavery. Even the Israelite foreigners went through slavery. You Jakes just don't know. You think that all your history is just in America. Some of you Jakes haven't even left your neighborhood, man. And you think you know something. Anyway, foundational Black American refers to Black Americans with direct lineage from U.S. slavery, distinguishing them from Black immigrants, emphasizing unique history, building the nation, and often advocating for reparations and distinct cultural focus stemming from concepts like American descendants of slavery. See more division, but sparking debate about solidarity versus exclusivity. All right. It's nonsense, man. Complete nonsense. But you Jakes are going to find out the hard way. One second. I'm just going to read some scriptures. I've got some scriptures lined up. I'm just trying to make sure that. Excuse me, I apologize about that. I'm sure it's probably like hitting your ears. Apologies. Jeremiah 50, verse 33. Excuse me. Jeremiah 50, chapter 50, verse 33. Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yashai of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah were oppressed together. Okay? Northern children of Israel and southern kingdom Judah were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. I'm going to read that again. Thus saith the Lord of hosts, Yahweh Bashem Yashai, okay, the Lord of armies, the children of Israel, northern kingdom, and the children of Judah, southern kingdom, were oppressed together, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go. You say, this fight is, is not your fight against ICE and all that. Cool. All right. But they're going to come for you. They're going for the Latinos first. Okay. They're grabbing up Benjamin as well, the Jamaicans and Haitians. They're going to come for you, Black Americans. If they haven't come for you in droves yet, okay, they've come for the tribe of Gad, the Native Americans, which are our brothers. Okay. They've come for them, and they are the owners of America. So they're going to come for you too. Okay. You think that, okay, yeah, you're not going to get got. They're going to come for you too. Then you're going to find out that, oh, you know what? We should have stuck together. But the Lord is going to keep the elect together. The rest of you is going to get it and wake up in the kingdom as babies, knowing right from wrong. All right. Coming to the loins of the elect men, the 144,000 Israelite men, that is. Okay. Deuteronomy 28, verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother, and toward the wife of his bosom, and toward the remnant of his children, which he shall leave. Okay? Right? We had a lot of love for each other in the ancient world, respect, okay, amongst each other in the ancient world. But in this world, we're evil toward each other. Okay? Sureños versus Norteños. Okay? That's Issachar versus Issachar. Bloods versus Crips. Judah versus Judah, or amongst those Bloods and Crips, you got like Samoan Israelites, Israelite foreigners. Some of them are, not all of them. All right. Then you got Judites, you got Cambodian Jakes. Okay. You got Benjaminites. All right. But they all look dark. All right. They all hate each other. Then you got like Bloods and Crips out of just straight Judah, hating and deleting each other. I remember when I saw colors in 1988. You know what I mean? As this Jakes is deleting each other. That eye is evil towards brother. Now they're trying to amplify that with this FBA bullshit. And you 2/3 are going to fall into that trap. All right. But the elect are not going to. All right. That's that evil eye that we have towards each other. You guys making videos, or whether it's AI, whether it's real, or it's agents, I believe it's a combination of everything. AI, agents, advanced AI, and then people jumping on the bandwagon, swayed by this influencing of these YouTube influencers and AI influencers, and then you're making videos about it. Okay, so it's like a snowball effect. That snowball getting bigger and bigger and bigger. All right? So this hate can be amplified so that the tribes don't come together. Okay? Okay, you talk about your own people with such hatred and disdain, but you won't talk about the damn enemy. You won't talk about you're scared to even call a honky a cracker, or call an Edomite a honky, or call them an Edomite, so-called white man, or even go against the Ishmaelite Arab. You call them Aki, Assalamu alaikum, all that bullshit. Wearing that breakfast bowl on your head, that Muslim shit. You want to be like Esau, the heathen nations. You won't say nothing against them, but you go against the people that live right next door to you, man. You want to have a go at Mrs. Perez, man, because she's got straight hair. She might not speak English very good or whatever. She talks mainly to her own kind. Why? I mean, to her own tribe. Not her own kind, her own tribe, because that's the culture she understands. But she's cool with you. She ain't saying nothing to you. But the children, they grow up side by side in the projects, and they deal with each other. Okay? Deuteronomy 28 verse 54. So that the man that is tender among you and very delicate, his eye shall be evil toward his brother and toward the wife of his bosom and toward the remnant of his children which he shall leave. Single parent households. Isn't that a common theme amongst Israelite families? Black, Hispanic, Native Indian, even some Israelite foreigners. Okay, generally that is. But obviously, there's beautiful cases where the husband and the man and woman are together. Okay, which is an anomaly, but it does happen. All right. Uh, Isaiah 11:13. The envy also of Ephraim, the so-called Puerto Ricans, or the head tribe of the northern kingdom, which means Ephraim, all of the northern kingdom. The envy also, which is Puerto Ricans, Mexicans, and Native Americans, Venezuelans, etc., etc., etc. Okay, tribe of Ephraim. Okay, head tribe being so-called Puerto Ricans. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah, so-called black man of Judah, shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. All right, and we're coming to that point. And the elect are already on that sort of mind frame. They're dealing with each other. And a lot of the camps of Great Millstone, if you look, you got Israelites in there from Northern and Southern Kingdom. Okay, other camps too, but the Great Millstone as a beautiful example. And you got Israelite foreigners, a lot of Irish lads, a lot of Italian lads, light skinned Issacharites. They look white. Okay, but they're Jake because the Lord, the name of the Lord Yahweh Hashem Yahshua is dreadful among the heathen. Heathens ain't gonna say the beautiful name of Yahweh Hashem Yahshua, man. The Lord will delete them. Okay. And these men are teaching why? Pursuant to the scriptures of Romans 8:16. The Spirit beareth witness that we are the children of the Lord. All right. Okay. Let me see if I quoted that correctly. Romans 8:16. I'm just going to go to my phone quickly. 1 second. I don't want to butcher no scripture, man. Romans 8:16 KJV. Okay. Let me just read it. Romans 8:16. The Spirit itself beareth witness with our spirit that we are the children of the Most High Yahweh B'Hashem Yahshai. That's what you're seeing. Okay? Even Italian Israelites. All right? Well, that kinky hair, that dark skin that some Southern Italians have, that swag they have, so-called that new term swag, them silk suits and pinky rims and pinky rings, them thick gold chains around their neck. You think crackers dress like that? That's a Jake theme. Thick bracelets, big-ass gold rings, dressing sharp. Edomites don't dress like that. Those Jake. That's Jake. Okay? Those are Israelites. Okay? And you're going to say, oh yeah, they're racist. That's just Jake. Jake is racist among you. Well, not racist. We're the same race, but Jake is that throws those sort of bywords amongst each other. Oh, you wop, you guinea, right? Or you spick. The tribe of Judah will call somebody, you spick. I mean, if you watch the movie Shaft, all right, when you see the Dominican guy who's played by the Peoples, that's a so-called black man playing a Dominican. So why do they use a so-called black man playing a Dominican? Because we're the same fucking people, man. All right? And he calls Samuel L. Jackson a Kentucky Fried eating nigger. They can say that to each other. It's just like they're just basically taking the piss out of each other by the cultures that they grew up in. Oh, yeah, you kokolo, or what does he say to the so-called black man? The so-called black man say, yeah, you rice and bean eating motherfucker, MFO or whatever, or they'll say to the tribe of Gad, or you tomahawk, go and dance around a tree or some shit, words like that. Okay, that's just amongst each other. All right, but the elect aren't doing that no more because we're the same people, because they come under the banner of Yahweh B'Hashem Yahshai. They know they're not different. All right, so these differentiations are going to be gone soon, man. All right, let's read it again. Isaiah 11:13. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off. Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. Okay. Uh, let's go here. Ezekiel 37. Let's go Ezekiel 37:15. The word of the Lord Yahweh Shemashai came again unto me, saying, Moreover, thou son of man, take thee one stick and write upon it for Judah, the head tribe, and for the children of Israel. Okay? For Judah, southern kingdom, and for the children of Israel, northern kingdom, his companions. Then take another stick and write upon it for Joseph, the stick of Ephraim, and for all the house of Israel, and for all the house of Israel, his companions, and join them one to another into one stick, and they shall become one in thine hand. Okay, that's that wooden board, that one stick with the 12 tribes sign. Okay, we're becoming one stick. We're becoming a family again. We're joining together. All right, that one stick. That's that 12 tribe sign. Okay, and you can't break this truth. Okay, this is the storyline is all of Yahweh Hashem Shai, because man's goings are of the Lord. Then how can a man understand his own way? There's no such thing as free will. Let's go to 2 Corinthians 13:8. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. You're only going to catch the 2/3 in this bullshit. You're not going to touch the elect. The elect are anointed from the beginning. All right. So this is just a trap and a snare. This FBA nonsense to capture the 2/3 so they can delete each other. But the rest of you elect are going to be all right. Because this truth is of Yahweh Hashem Yashai. You can't do nothing against it. The same way Vocab Malone can't do nothing about it, because people actually have thanked Vocab Malone. Oh, thank you, Vocab Malone. Because of you, I know that I'm an Israelite. And Vocab Malone is demonizing the Israelites. But people actually looked into it, saying, oh, what is this Israelite thing? They look into it, and they find out that they're Jake, and they wake up. So you can't do nothing against this truth, period, man. Whatever you try and do is all of Yahweh Hashem Yashai. The good and the evil. Lord controls both sides. Isaiah 45:7. Okay? 2 Corinthians 13:8 again. 2 Corinthians 13:8 again. For we can do nothing against the truth, but for the truth. Okay? So brothers, be careful out there with these demons. All right? I'm going to leave it there now. All praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yashai, Ba'ashem Rakak Radash, Mawatha Ba'at Babal, Kwam Yashwala, Shalom.